forward. Washington's ambitious bill to curb climate change is officially up and running. The Climate Commitment Act kicked in January 1st, and now companies, consumers, and lawmakers are waiting to see exactly what it's going to cost to emit CO2 in the state.
Critics have long argued that new law will result in higher prices at the pump, among other things. But 3 months into the landmark legislation, what is happening? I tried to find out. It's been nearly 2 years since Governor Jay Inslee signed the Climate Commitment Act into law. Its goal is to curb statewide carbon emissions by making the state's largest CO2 emitters by pollution allowances at quarterly auctions. The idea is that will incentivize producers to find and use cleaner ways to produce energy.
So all in all, over time, we don't think there'll be a big impact on prices at the pump or customer prices.
That's Luke Martland with the Department of Ecology, the agency tasked with implementing the new law. We asked him if it's already leading to higher prices at the pump, as many critics have warned.
So in your view, first a year, you didn't see gas prices in Washington increase as a result of this new bill?
Well, we've seen prices increase, as I said, nationwide and in the state. We've all noticed that. But we think that's the result of many factors, including factors that have nothing to do with the Cap and Invest program.
He estimates any gas price increase tied to the CCA will be at around 1 to 3%. So for context, I went to Patrick DeHaan with GasBuddy.com. The company tracks and monitors gas prices at the nation's 150,000 gas stations.
Up to this point, though, have you seen anything that suggests that's already happening in Washington?
No, nothing I've seen to suggest it just yet. Once the first round of auctions occur, that's when the price will likely start being passed along to consumers, as it likely will cost refineries more to emit pollution.
Because the Department of Ecology sort of rushed this, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things that weren't put in place.
That's Todd Myers with the Washington Policy Institute, a public policy think tank. He has been critical of the law. He says consumers are already being hit. Now, to be clear, the first auction just happened last week. However, Myers says right now producers don't know what to expect, so they are charging more in anticipation of future cost increases.
In the same way that you do withholding on your paycheck now so that you have the money available next April 15th, they are charging taxes now so that when the tax actually has to get paid to the state, they have it on hand. So it's very common practice.
So we asked Martland with Ecology why suppliers were already charging more even before the first pollution allowance auction took place. A KREM 2 viewer reached out to say they have been hit with surcharges for their home heating oil. And another viewer who runs a farm south of Spokane says his gas and diesel supplier started charging him a fuel surcharge, citing the new law.
And he claims his supplier is charging him 50 cents more per gallon and citing Washington's new Cap and Invest bill as a result of that surcharge. I wonder your thoughts on that.
Well, we've had communications and we've been in touch with folks like that also, farmers, small business people that have been hit by these surcharges. And it really causes us concern. But we don't control what the oil companies charge.
Martland believes surcharges are not warranted, especially for farming and maritime businesses, which are exempt from the law.
And we don't think there should be any surcharges put on those fuels as a result.
So the first greenhouse gas allowance auction just took place last week, as we mentioned. It raised an estimated $300 million. That's according to the Seattle Times. And that money then goes to the legislature, which plans to spend it on clean energy projects and climate mitigation programs. Finally, the Department of Ecology did tell me they are reaching out to consumers and fuel suppliers to make sure they know who is covered by this law, and who is exempt from it. People on either side of this issue, those who support it and oppose it, they are certainly passionate about it, so we will continue to follow its impact moving forward.